Yep. I know. Long live the long hair and beard. Hell of a dolt that looks like his hairstyle was reincarnated into what looks to be the same hairstyle as The Miz in 2007. Or really just, the same haircut as he's always had. The same haircut. It's the same haircut. I am never, ever trusting my barber again. Hola everyone. Hope you're doing well. The road to WrestleMania is upon us as we're reaching so close to the showcase of the Immortals. Well, actually, we're much closer to Elimination Chamber than we are to Mania, but blah, blah, blah. You get the point. But after almost a full year of the aftermath of what is to be an almost perfect Mania, except for this match, I generally want to take a back seat and really take a view of the current champions that we have here today in WWE. I'm going to judge the reign based on how they won it and how their reign has been, give you my overall view of the position that I feel they're in, and I'll just give it a rating as followed. Great, good, fine, / bad, awful. And yes, I am going to review NXT champions as well. Do not worry. Alright, that's all the basic stuff. Just remember, this is just my opinion. And if you disagree, that's okay. Just comment below and just keep it cool. And we can just have a nice civil discussion about it. Please, let's just have a nice civil discussion about it. It's just wrestling, guys. Alrighty, let's move on with the video. The Speed Champion. I have nothing else to say. It's a sponsored championship. Let Dragon Lee do particularly nothing in LWO. And also, hey, remember when LWO was cool back in 2023? I remember them being such a hard act, bringing back a faction name that was first brought together by Eddie Guerrero. Backlash at Puerto Rico certainly did love them. Hell, they were selling lots of merch going forward. And then Triple H saw this and was still like, you know what this faction needs? I know, a losing streak! Like, this is a big thing that bothered me about Triple H's current booking, because tag team wrestling is what he excelled at NXT. Then when he was given the pen and paper to run both Raw and Smackdown, he just, did nothing with the division, especially towards LWO, who again saw them as an overact with a faction that has Rey freaking Mysterio in it, and they were still like, thanks for getting over on your own. And for your reward, you're gonna be eating so many losses to the Judgment Day. Like, the most wild thing is that the most wins they get is untelevised matches, like dark and house show matches. They win all that, but when the cameras are rolling, boom, they keep eating pins. Anyways, I'm rambling too much. Dragon Lee and Candice LeRae's reign as Speed Champions, meh, they get a fine. But what would I like to see from these reigns? I would just like to see this. I just want to watch the world burn. Women's Tag Team Champions. Oh gosh, awful. They're just awful. Listen, wait, that did sound a bit harsh, because it was. When Bianca and Jade first won the belts, they did a pretty good job with them. Well, within the standards of being a women's tag team champions, I guess. They were putting on some really good matches and clearly had good chemistry together. Then it all went downhill when the Unholy Union won it. Like, it was a great and shocking moment to see them win the tag belts. Mostly done because it was Alba Fire and Isla Dawn's home of Scotland. A lovely moment that would then transpire into, well, sadly nothing. Sadly nothing notable happened in their reign, and they just gave it back to Bianca and Jade. But by then the tag title's relevance in getting a better prestige just already died, and it just went back to square one. For the 20th time! I don't know why WWE even still keeps these belts, not that they have two women's mid-card belts. The tag division is in desperate need of tag teams, but WWE will either break them up or just release one of the partners in the team. It's particularly why Shawn Michaels just stopped using the NXT women's tag belts in the first place. And that's why he's the better booker. Just stop pretending that you care. Just take the belts out. No one will mind. There's just too many belts as it is in wrestling promotions, so just seeing one listening out might be a refresher for us. Nathan Frazer and Axiom, the absolute worst. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Nah. They've been slotted into the golden category. Yes, I know that wasn't there before, but shut up, it is now. Their title reign is so simplistic, but yeah, it's really all you need to make it great. Just have good chemistry and have cool, consistent matches with your title reign. That is all you needed. I think we all expected Axiom to break up within every month that they were together, but they just kept retaining and retaining. It was just so fascinating to watch. Really shows that they probably changed their mind on things based on the fan feedback towards their partnership, and good for them because I think they're better suited as a team for the most part. Although NXT's main event talent is severely lacking. Either way, Axiom, goated team, goated reign. Up next is the United States. What was the point in LA Knight losing? Seriously. Seriously. What was the point? He held the belt for nearly 3 months. Shinsuke has held the belt for nearly 3 months. I bet you guys didn't even know that, which shows you how bad this reign is. And I know I'm gonna get heat with the Shinsuke fans, but listen, I was a Shinsuke fan too. I was there through his NXT days. I was there drowning in disappointment when WWE didn't pull the trigger and have him beat the world champion Jinder and become champion. But then later on, he won the Rumble. Yay! But then he had a dream match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Double yay! And then didn't go well with the crowd because they were getting too tired for how long the show was. Nah, not a yay. And then they had to have Shinsuke have a gimmick where he had an obsession over AJ Styles' phenomenal ones, to say it nicely. The feud stunk. But hey, at least we got that cool counter. Either way, awful reign. I don't think Shinsuke even cares that he's champion. He's just a guy that is there to wrestle and surf. Let him continue to have that chill life while LA Knight gets that title back. But even if it's not him, just give it to Andrade or Carmelo Hayes for that matter. They were literally carrying that show for months. Back to NXT, Giulia is the NXT Women's Champion. She gets a fine. Her reign just started, so I really can't criticize it as much. Either way, Giulia was an absolute great choice to have in NXT. She's been killing it. She just stands out a lot in NXT, and I hope she gets to have a long reign with the belt. She's great. Well done. She'll have a better reign later on. The War Raiders as the Raw Tag Team Champions is the same as I said with Giulia. Fine, but will be good later. They recently just started a program with American Made, and the match they had together on Raw was just... oh, chef's kiss, man. If Triple H wants to revive the tag team division from the stunk that Judgment Day gave it and created, just have both teams have a 5-match series. Telling you, both teams will kill it and not a singular fan would complain. War Raiders are great. American Made are great. Wouldn't mind on who gets to hold the belt. Oh, really? Belts? Because there's 2 belts because it's tag team. Gosh, you get the point. Alexis King being the NXT UK Heritage Cup champion. It's fine. Nothing harmless. But his facial hair scares me. The women's IC belt, Lyra gets a fine. Again, she just started. Though I can see her holding it for a while, for maybe a good 3 to 4 months, and slowly getting the crowd behind her as she becomes like this workhorse champion. And I'm all for it. I feel like it completes her gimmick. DIY, I'll give them a good. I've always enjoyed both men's work together as both a tag team and a singles act. But I do believe that champions like Solo Run in the main roster is just long overdue, as he would just kill it as WWE's next top villain. Like, that man was getting nuclear boos for just coming out in a jacket with no music playing. Literally such an underrated heel. Should be beloved more. I hope he gets to do more after this. The women's US title reign gets a good for me. Why? It's really only because Chelsea Rain is holding it. That woman has been killing it since she returned to WWE. Her charisma is like through the roof, and she was just a pure highlight in the Women's Rumble. You can put her in any role and she will excel at with ease. She doesn't have an ego, she's just there to work with what she's given, and she gives it 200%. Excellent worker, excellent talent. Thumbs up from me. Fallon Henley as the North American Women's Champion. She gets Lerae because I'm just here to give you the note that Stephanie McCurr is going to beat you for your title tonight at NXT Vengeance Day. Hope that message helps. Oh, and just so by the way, I think I mentioned this already. I'm recording this way before NXT Vengeance Day happens, and I will just laugh so hard if I end up being wrong. Tony D'Angelo, man, this is bad, and it's not even towards Tony. He's got a great character, and he's been excelling for years. Thus far, it's just, he's literally the guy that beat Oba Femi's streak. He was the one dethroning the longest reigning North American champion reign, and then they did nothing with him really afterwards. It's just, wow. Okay. Sure, enjoy that reign while you can, Tony, because once you lose that belt, that moment is gonna create a revolution that will be televised. And the last mid-card belt that we'll be discussing is the IC title reign. This gets a good because Bron is absolutely freaking killing it. Not as a champion per se, but just as a star in general. It sucks, but it's smart Triple H to just part way if a guy becomes super over with the crowd. They wrestle way less than before because Triple H wants to now give that time to the other talent that need to get over with the crowd too, which is what happened to Bron. He had his time, got over, and now you notice he mostly wrestles when it's a pay-per-view. Which, great, I'm all for the wrestlers like having not to go in and out wrestling all the time, as it just keeps them more healthy, but man, Bron is so great! I could see that man show up to Raw and just spear and kill everyone in the entire roster, and I would not get bored. That's just how special he is, man. He was so special that before Cody showed up from AEW to WWE again, he was always in people's top 5 wrestlers that should dethrone Roman's 2 million day reign as champion. And now we're finally here to discuss the main roster champions. We've got 4 left, and I've saved the best for last. Let's get right into it. Rhea Ripley? Meh. I meant to say fine, but it just gets a meh. She just regained the title back from Liv Morgan on the Raw debut on Netflix, which was great because I just hope to never see them feud again. But man, I feel like Rhea just doesn't need the title anymore. She's already a megastar, truly someone that has, quote, done it all. And in a way, I feel like she's got a presence that has her with no real need to have the belt with her. Trust me, you would see Rhea Ripley come out with or without the belt, and trust me, she feels the exact same way. Not like it's a bad thing, I love Rhea Ripley. She's one of my favorite women's wrestlers in wrestling at the moment right now. But she's had a long reign with the belt already, and seeing her win it again so quickly is just, oh well, we've kind of been here already. And I know Io Sky was the world champion at last year's WrestleMania, but man, for some reason she just feels like she needs the belt to her. She looks so strange without it. It just feels like I know she's been a world champion, but it just doesn't feel like she's been a world champion. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Also, she's just the best women's wrestler in the world right now. Let's stop halting her in the women's tag division that Triple H clearly doesn't care about, and just give her the belt already. Thank you. That will be all. Tiffany Stratton as the women's champion. Meh, she gets a fine. She just started her reign, so I really can't review her reign as much. She really had a good match with Bayley, but that's all I could really think of at the top of my head. But what really brings this reign down is just the realization to everyone that, well, it's going to be hard to be invested with her talent reign when we just know that Charlotte Flair is going to take it away from her. Which I gotta say, man, I'm going to admit this and don't be mad. I'm so tired of Charlotte. Like, I have generally not liked her run since like 2016 when she was having that whole hot potato feud with Sasha Banks where they were just trading the title belts all the time. What bothers me about her really is just the sole fact that she's just been the exact same character since she's came to the main roster. She joined the main roster almost 10 years ago! And I'm generally not saying that to be a hater. truly, I'm being honest, I've been giving her like multiple chances. But every time she comes back, she always comes back trying to be a good guy. But then she always cuts the most heelish Charlotte Flair promos. But it's promos that I've already heard from her before for so many years. So yeah, my thoughts is Charlotte Flair dethroning Tiffany Stratton's reign this early into her run.
It's the same thing over and over. It's like missionary position.
Oba Femi, not much to say. He's great. He gets a great rating. Let him keep the belt forever. I do not care. Let this man hold a day more than Roman Reigns' 2 million day reign. Do not look at me funny. I'm just a simple man that sees destiny with this. And then we have Gunther's reign as the world champion. And I apologize so much for acting like a negative Nancy, but like, man, as a big Gunther fan myself, this reign ain't hitting. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. His reign as the IC champion was so phenomenal. But with this reign, I feel like they've barely scratched the surface of what they could do with this reign. You know what I mean? Like, we're in a roster where you could face guys like Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, a solo feud with Finn Balor, but without the Judgment Day, because that's where he's been so... But man, all they've done is making him face Damian Priest and Jey Uso all the time. And that's no knock on them, it's just they fought and have done so many promo segments together. And it's just like, I'd like to move on, please. But they just never did. So I just think it's best for Jey Uso to just beat him at WrestleMania. Don't move me. Calm down. Listen, I know I'm crazy at times. Come on. Put the pitchforks down! But that man needs a break from a title reign until they figure out a way to rebuild his presentation again, as I think that version of Gunther that we have now is nowhere close to the presentation we had of him as IC champion and his reign as United Kingdom champion as Walter. I hope you get what I mean. And lastly, we have the WWE champion Cody Rhodes, and before I rate him, I'd just like to mention that on WWE.com he's still listed as the Undisputed and Universal Champion. I mean, which he is, but like, come on, just call him the WWE Champion and be done with it. The 2 copy graphics for him is it just looks weird. But overall, Cody's reign gets an absolute low, disgusting, diabolical, stinking great rating. Yeah, that should leave like no surprise to any of us. I think Cody's just been a great champion. And it's been so good to see him have a reign where no one could question if he was the right guy to beat Roman for the title, because he just was. Unless you're a Bloodline stan, don't listen to them. You don't come out wrestling outside of the company for so many years, come back and beat one of your biggest stars with a broken tit, and still have him not win the championship after all this time. Oh wait! But look, I ain't complaining, and honestly wouldn't mind seeing Cody hold on to the reign for a lot longer, as I just don't see anyone having the right to beat him yet. And no, I'm sorry, I just don't think it should be Randy nor Cena. Cena could go for the world champion as he's on Raw, and Randy, I just don't think he needs it. But if he wants to, he can, just for the world champion. Jey is at best gonna hold the title for at least 3 to 4 months, so he's probably gonna get cashed in on as well, so go for that. And that's all for the current champions that we have here at this current moment. Remember, this is just my opinion, and I'm all for an open conversation. If you just feel differently about it, go for it. I'm all ears. Here are all my socials. I'm really just gonna plug my Twitter. Just subscribe. I also have another second channel that just talks about a wild range of topics. Do as you feel. I hope you guys have a great one, and see ya.